Like you're gonna listen to what I say, Kate.
I'm not doing that.
What am I talking about? It's bloody ridiculous. I think it started, by the way.
Have you started? Looking forward to this one, guys.
Certainly are. Welcome back, everybody. This is the great one. This is going to be a great vlog. It's Bossy Boots, and it's not such a bad thing, is it? Because Kate is a huge Bossy Boots, and I can say that. A lot of people probably wouldn't say it. I can say that, and Kate's gonna explain why she's so bossy.
I'll take that on the chin, and I'll hopefully explain why I'm so bossy. But first you owe me an explanation of why I'm so bossy.
Okay.
Please.
You're not bossy in the traditional sense of being bossy.
We haven't had this discussion before.
We haven't. No. And we're just doing it live to everybody. You are what I would call Little Miss Nice Bossy Boots. Not Little Miss Bossy Boots, Little Miss Nice Bossy Boots. I think I've mentioned this in the previous vlog as well, actually, one of the earlier ones, about how you can get your point across to your audience at the time, not move from your position because you have absolute 100% conviction in what you're saying is correct. And so you're nicely bossy, and I actually think it's a great skill to have. You're very much a people's person,
Thank you.
and you get your point of view across in a very succinct, very successful manner. To be honest, I think your approach to people, I'm actually quite jealous of it, because I think it's a difficult skill to master. I look at it as a skill, as an art.
Being bossy.
Your form of bossy, yes.
Nice bossy.
Nice bossy. You know, people can be bossy. People can be bossy.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and you know, I look at the people within the people that know you in this company. How many of those people say you're bossy? You know, a lot of them. How many would think of that look at that in a bad light? Probably none of them. So that straight away tells you that it's a skill. You know your stuff, you're confident, and therefore you get away with it. That's what I think.
Ooh. Thank you. Most of that, I think, that's quite nice to hear. Ooh, gosh. You immediately make me feel like I've got to stop being bossy, and I better be all sort of like, oh, I don't know.
Like you're gonna listen to what I say, Kate.
I'm not doing that. I do know that there was a gentle passage through my life in recent working years where I came to be much more at peace with the concept that I'm a Bossy Boots. And everybody says I'm bossy, and I am bossy. And to relax with that, and I do know that's helped me.
Yeah.
Because I think it is possible to stylise this thing about being the boss in a bossy way, and that if I am the boss, I must be nice. Yeah. Or I must be the boss, or I have to decide if I'm authoritarian, or the old-fashioned thing about leadership styles, or command and control and all that kind of stuff.
The two options people.
Yeah, and is leadership about
respect or fear?
It's quite difficult to see that not as a sort of binary choice, that you're either a bossy boss or you're a terribly nice boss, and to relax with the fact that actually, being directive, being clear, being bossy, it can be okay. Yeah. Or even if it's not okay, it's it's kind of me, and I'm a bit stuck with me. Could escape you.
Just a little bit.
Everybody else can escape me.
Can't get away from yourself, can you? Yeah.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
And I'm Bossy Boots. There's a rub in what you said, because I'm well aware of this. In many contexts, I bring I have a confidence in myself with my views. Danger is this. If you start from the black bossy camp as opposed to the white, which is terribly nice, yeah, then you can apply that in all circumstances. And you have told me, and you're quite right, just sometimes, Kate, stop and listen as to whether you are right.
Yeah.
Particularly when it's you talking, yeah.
I agree with that. I totally agree with your point there, because I think there's a line, isn't there? And there's the self-confidence which every leader needs, without exception. Actually, you need to be confident in your own abilities. But there's a point of, actually, this person I'm having a conversation with, maybe he's right, maybe she's right.
Or maybe not even having a conversation, because the person is so down their track.
It's stopping, it's the point at which you stop pushing your point. No, I'm not talking about you now, generally, the point, probably am actually, the point at which you stop pushing your own point onto somebody and actually listening to what that other person is saying. You might still disagree, and that's absolutely fine. But it's to me, it's about having, it's an example I used to give in basically a lot in our early days. Having your arsenal of weaponry, you've got it all there, and knowing which one to pull out at which time. Yeah, you've got to know times you do need to be bossy, and you do need to rule by fear. You do.
Oh God, no.
I think sometimes you do. I think sometimes you do. That might be 5%. It might be 1% of your time. But I think
I'm not
having that there is important, because there are people who will. People react to different things, Kate. Sometimes people react to Alex Ferguson, Sir Alex Ferguson. I will have you know. Perhaps a lot of the younger generation would rip this apart, but the most successful football manager in history. Get that in. No, I think I'm third on the list. After Joe said, and he said that basically you have to have control. His biggest leadership skill, if you read his books, is about having control. And he said that could be by fear, that could be by respect.
Right, or fear or respect.
Fear or respect. No. But there are going to be times where you need to have the fear factor, as well as the respect factor, as well as the likability factor, because people react differently to different things. I think it's about having the arsenal, all of the tools available, and knowing which one to use at which time with who. And I don't think you should rule out fear. Yes, it's old school, and yes, it's frowned upon, and yeah. But is it such a bad thing? I was scared of my dad, and it worked.
I'm not sure I want anybody in my business world to be scared of me.
No, but this is the thing. I don't think, like I say, it's. I don't think anyone's scared of you in that way. I don't think anyone's scared of me as in terms of leaders of this business. But there may come a time where you might need to play that fear card. That's all I'm saying.
I think if you can just morph that slightly and say that there's times when you need to play the boss card. Sometimes you just have to say, the answer is this because I say so.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And I guess that is probably what I was trying to say with the fear card.
Do I want them to take that instruction at that point because they fear me, or because they respect me, or both?
You don't really care at that point, do you? As long as they do what you ask them to do.
I do care. I want it to be from respect, not fear. But that's a personal choice.
Look, I think 10 out of 10 people would prefer to be respected as opposed to feared.
Yeah.
Yep, I don't disagree with that, but I do think having the, like you say, at the point in a heated debate, right? You're telling someone, do you know what? Just do what I say because I'm telling you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At that point, you want them to do what you're telling them to do, not asking them to do, telling them to do.
Yeah.
At that point, do you still think that person is doing that out of respect for you, or doing that out of, the boss just told me to do this, I better do it?
Respect for me. That's what I want. I don't know
What
if it's
you
true.
want, but I think it's a bit of both. Using that
You just
closed
said
example,
10 out of 10 people
I
would
think it's a
prefer
bit
it
of
to be
both.
respect.
Oh, there's no question mark about that.
think
But
there
I think,
possibly is.
but I think no. I think most people would want to be respected and feared. I can't imagine, a dictator or something.
Then don't aim for fear, is what I'm saying. Don't be frightened to be bossy if you are bossy, I think.
Yep. Embrace your bossiness. Be bossy, but in a nice way. Like Kate does
Thank
it. In a beautifully skillful way.
And if you are like that, learn when to listen.
2 ears, 1 mouth, all that. So, Miss Bossy Boots, let you close this one off.
Just did.
Okay. See you next week.